Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tech Team. Okay, so I thought that in today's video I am going to share with you guys the top 5 things that I wish I knew when I started programming. So if you are a new developer, I think that when you see the whole video you are going to understand the mistakes that I did and you're not going to do the same mistakes. And if you're an advanced developer, then I think that you're probably going to agree with me in the most part of the video. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So the first thing that most people do is that they learn the basics and after that they go and buy an intermediate course on game development. And they think that because they know the basics, how to create a function, a loop, a variable and all that stuff, they could get into intermediate things because the tutorials say that this is a basic, a beginner tutorial anyways, in Python for example, and then they go and buy an intermediate course in game development which they don't know anything and they have to learn C++ and C#. So what they did, wasted their money, first of all because they went and buy a course that they thought it was very good, and second of all wasted their time and learned nothing because they were so inspired by all those YouTube videos and everything that, for example, game dev, I participated in this jam and create a game in 3 days for example, and they think, oh my god, they created a game in 3 days, this is going to be really easy, I'm going to learn game programming in like 10 days, 20 days, but they don't even know the basics about game development. So what you have to do is learn first of all the language. If you want to learn Unity, then learn C# and learn it really good. Don't learn how to create a function, a variable, a for loop and all that stuff because you're not even going to use them like you know them, because in game development a lot of things are changing. So what you have to do is learn the language really good and then start learning from the beginning everything you know, but in a game development environment. So that's my advice for the first point. The second thing that I want to talk about is really similar to the first one, but it's even worse. So, you know, not even the basics, that's what happened to me. So I didn't even knew functions and I was so confident that I knew a lot of things because it took me like 5 days probably to learn the basics, and for me that was a lot because I wanted to create a game so bad that time. That's why I started back then. So what I did is that I learned Python, C++. I learned C++. Again, not even the basics, and I started searching the internet. How to do that, how to do this, how to do that, because I thought that yeah, I can do that, but I don't have the time, and inside of me I knew that I didn't know anything that I was writing, so I just copy and paste whatever I found on the internet, and to create really easy things it could probably take me like 2 days to create a really easy thing because the internet didn't show me what I wanted to. So I was copy and pasting everything, the whole internet, until I found the answer that I wanted. And you know how many lines I was written in that period of time? 0. So that's not even for game development. You could probably wanted to create a website and you knew the really basic things of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and you were searching the internet how to do this, how to do that, and after a lot of time you went into machine learning and AI, for example, for no reason, and you did not understand anything. So again, my advice is to learn first of all the language that you want really good, and then get into more advanced topics. The third thing is to practice, and more specifically, practice correct. What do I mean about that? So let's say that I ask you how many hours you practice every week, and you say to me 6 hours. That's really good, but after that you told me that I don't understand anything, I forget things, and I think that my practice is going to waste. So what's my next question? My next question is, are you practicing every day? And that's really important, because if you practice 2 times a week, it's not really bad, but you're probably going to, not probably, you are going to forget a lot of things that you shouldn't. So I recommend you to not practice 6 hours by 3 and 3 hours in 2 days, but practice, for example, 1 hour every day, and 1 hour is really okay. You could make it 1:30 or even 2 hours, but for the main person 1 hour is the time that they have to practice in a new skill. So don't practice a lot just in 2 days, because first of all, if you practice 3 hours programming after the first 1:30 or even 2 hours, your brain is going to die, and you're not going to understand anything. You're just going to watch the videos and understand nothing. So I recommend you to practice every day by a little bit. And that's the third point. Please stick with me with the fourth point, the fourth mistake, because 99% of you are going to say, yeah, I do that, but you're not. So what I did is that I was learning something. I learned, let's say, functions. Okay, there are a lot of things that you have to learn about functions, for example, and the days passed, and I thought, oh, I have to use the thing that I learned back then, but I don't remember it. So what I did, I just wrote the video, for example, that I learned it from. I copied the code and that's it. But this is really important. You need to remember this. So what you have to do is, when you forget about something, go and rewatch it or reread it, whatever you do. It's really important to do that, because if you're just every time going to rewatch the same thing and copy the code, you don't learn anything. So the thing that you learned 5 days ago or 10 days or 20 days ago, it doesn't matter. Now you don't know it. So what you did back then, 20 days, you just lost your time. So go rewatch it and then continue on. Fifth and final thing. So this is the most important part of the video. The fifth mistake that the most people do is that because they are struggling a lot, they are going just to stop learning what they learn. For example, coding. Not for example, we're talking about coding. And I did the same thing like 1 year ago, no, 2.5 years ago. I did the same mistake. I thought to myself, I'm not making any progress, nothing is happening, so I just quit it for half a year. But that's not the point. If I was not going to stop there, now I would have half a year more of experience. And what I recommend you to do if you have the same struggle, if you're struggling with coding, just continue. I know that this sounds really easy to say, but you have to learn another topic, expand your knowledge with other things. If you want to create a game and you're just struggling so much, you don't understand anything, go and rewatch other tutorials or watch other tutorials or learn something new for a little bit, so your mind could relax from game development, for example, and then you can come back to it. Or if you are creating a website and you can't do it because you think you can't do it, but I'm going to tell you that you can't do it every single of the times. What you have to do is go, for example, and learn game development for a little bit, so your mind could relax from all this HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And then after, I'm not saying you to stay 30 days, after 10 or 5 days, come back to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That's what I have to share with you today. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you're never going to miss another video. Share this video with your friends, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.